Seraphim17 once again, introducing you to my Halo 4 Legendary Difficulty video walkthrough. This is the final section to Requiem, and this is probably the more challenging area of it. This is the first place I started dying on the guide run, mainly because I was trying to get in the Banshee and do a suicide run just to see if I could do it. And I think you can, but I decided against it just because, you know, checkpoint racing on games can be fun, and on Halo sometimes it's necessary, but I just don't really enjoy it that much, and this game doesn't really need it that much because there's an interesting pace to this game. And what I mean by this is especially the enemies. You spend a surprising amount of time fighting the Covenant. I thought it would be much more about these Prothean guys, and I actually thought there would be more of them, of the new people. And I do apologise if you've not played the game and you're watching and I've just told you that the new race is Promethean, even though I call them Protheans, which is off Mass Effect, so I do apologise. But I thought there would be a lot. I wanted to say a lot more, and I don't know why. I just thought there'd be a more diverse selection of the new enemies, because essentially there is the grunt equivalent, the elite equivalent, and then like 3 varying elites, and that's it. And don't get me wrong, they do summon turrets, and the turrets summon turrets. It's kind of like those Matryoshka dolls that just keep fucking turning into more people, so you've got a house filled with them. And they're intelligent and they're difficult at times, especially when you're new to them. They've got a wealth of moves, and they are detailed and interesting, but I expected to fight more of them, and I expected to fight them for a longer duration. I did not think this game was going to be about the Covenant as much as it is. At the same time, I understand the decision behind it, because they're establishing a universe, so they need to show that they can do the things that it did before just as well. So it's a healthy balance of 50-50 combat between, which is a good thing, because fighting the Covenant is fun. It's very similar to what you've been doing ever since you started playing Halo. So if you're used to the metagame of the old games, you'll fit in pretty well with this one. And if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm running back to get the battle rifle ammo. If you ever see a chest that's got ammunition for good guns, make sure you use it. It's just so smart. Good guns can be really difficult to find, and if you find yourself in a spot where you don't have one, you really feel the importance of it, and this is a fun one. How many times have you gone up to pick a weapon thinking it was a carbine, and it turned out to be that stupid fucking, water spreader gun that I don't like, that silly machine gun that they've introduced in this one? I think it's called like the Storm Rifle. Don't like it. Really don't like it. But this section here, there's a sniper across from you, and then there's a bunch of dudes just below this bridge. There's one elite, there's some jackals and some grunts. Be really careful on this bit, because I think I died, and I think what happened is a bunch of grunts snuck up behind me, and they did the suicide thing where they hold the grenade, which is just as gay as it used to be, but I don't think it's as bad because the grenades have been torn down. But you'll notice I'm throwing grenades, I'm not really giving them the opportunity to be bitches. Always take cover when your shield goes down, it makes a lot of sense. If that elite hits you when your shield's down, I think he's pretty much a one-shot kill, because his gun does a lot of damage. You can take a decent amount of punishment at times, other times you'll just flop over like a soggy clown, but for the most you take a surprising amount of damage, which is a good thing, I think. But at this moment here, you can steal the Banshee and then fly to the end, drop out and run to the door. But I tried it maybe 2 or 3 times, and there was just so much of a shitstorm shooting me by the time I got out to the door, I kept dying. So instead, I jump in the Banshee, I kill the 2 Banshees, and I do the rest of the bridge on foot. It just made a lot more sense. And before anybody says, I couldn't remember how to fire the missile in this Banshee, so, do bear with me, guys. The reason I did the loop then is because I was trying to figure out what fucking button the missile was, and that's actually one of the things I would criticise this game for. There is an abundance of tutorials that are lacking from the game, and my only explanation for this is they assume that you already know, and that is a wrong assumption to make when you're making a game. And I don't really understand it, because there's no manual for this game. There's no manual whatsoever. I opened up the book and I thought I'd been fucking robbed. Sorry, I opened the box up. There was nothing in it. It's just like, thanks for buying Halo. Yeah, save the trees. Like, really? No manual? Come on, fellas. So no instruction manual to learn how to do it. No in-game prompts, and the waypoint on this game. Like, I've had moments where Cortana's been telling me to hurry the fuck up, and there's not even a waypoint. It's like, hurry up where? I'm so used to games telling me where to go that when I don't have that, I'm like, can you please tell me where to go? Very strange. But yeah, not too sure about the fidelity of the waypoint, not too sure why it does that. I assume it's intentional so that it wants you to explore a little bit, but a lot of the times when you do explore, unless you find a rocket launcher or a cache of good weapons, it could sometimes be kind of pointless. But this is where the game gets hard, guys. So you'll notice now I've got a needler on, and I do not have a fuck you weapon, essentially, is what I generally call them. The guns that work. I now have a gun that can work against certain enemies and can be really effective, but against these things is not so great. And luckily enough, I've got a sidearm of the sniper rifle, and the sniper rifle's a fantastic weapon, but this bridge has pretty much gone smooth all the way up to this moment because I'm running out of the guns that work. And when you run out of these kind of weapons, this game really starts to kick your ass. And it reminds me of when I played Halo Reach. There's a section where you do the flying level that everybody made a big fuss about. Then you go inside the spaceship and you kill a bunch of jetpack brutes. Once they're dead, you move into an area where like the captain is, and you've got to press a button. And that room took me forever to do on that game on Legendary, just because I didn't have any good guns. And you know, it literally became this thing where I killed the assassinated the one guy, picked up his gun, killed this guy, picked up his gun, and whenever you get into a situation like that, this game becomes very difficult.